Hello and welcome to another episode of Rugby Through the Leagues podcast. This week we are joined by Xhino, who is the Albanian Rugby chairman. Another niche part of Rugby Europe as well. It's amazing to have this great guest on to talk about one of our briefly touched on moments when they played against the Greek Federation a few months ago when our little love affair with the Greek nation began. Xhino, really appreciate your time, mate. Thank you so much for coming on and can't wait to hear about all the good things and the exciting future that Albanian Rugby have got as well.
Firstly, thank you, Carl, for having me. Yeah, it's an exciting time, suffice it to say. And yeah, I appreciate it. We all appreciated this opportunity. As I'm sure you're aware, you just mentioned it, rugby is not very much well known in Albania, but we're trying there. Baby steps.
Albania Rugby,
Yeah.
you're not currently part of Rugby Europe. You're obviously part of, is that you're part of the World Rugby member as well. Obviously that's the main under with it being baby steps, etc. How long has the Albanian Federation sort of been going, for those that aren't aware? How long's rugby been official and how long has it potentially been under the radar in Albania?
Rugby started in 2010, 2011 with a group of students from a local school here. Mariglen Nezai, Christo Chulafi, to name a few, Erlanda Bazi. I just want to mention them. They were fascinated with rugby just by YouTube videos, and then they started building from that. Then we started the first team in Tirana back in 2012. From then on, we started playing union against Kosovo, Montenegro. And yeah, we started just as a group of young men, young boys, students, basically, just doing something for fun. Whereas the federation, the official federation, has been official since 2024, recognized by our Olympic Committee and our Ministry of Sports. But we've been self-funded. A lot of the boys, myself, this sport is expensive, but it is what it is. It's for the love of the game.
You just said there, Tirana, you've got a team there. Is that probably the most established club within Albania? Is that sort of the flagship? And is there much more of a gathering? Is there much more of a domestic scene?
I think actually that is the most established club in Albania. It's the oldest club. It's the oldest running club. We've been basically through thick and thin with that club. We've traveled everywhere, at least in the region, in Serbia, in Montenegro, in Greece. Everywhere we've gone, we've hosted so many teams, especially from the UK, funnily enough, and from Italy. We've hosted the Gentlemen of Albion, all sorts of teams. And actually, after September, we're hosting Nottingham Police Force. They're coming in October, and they're staying for a few days. So that's going to be something.
Nice.
And we're hosting the European Parliament rugby team in September.
I'm sure a few people might fancy being Albanian to try and have a pot shot at a few of those Parliament members. But that's a time.
But it is what it is. But it's rugby at the end of the day, and people love this kind of stuff.
That's it. A lot of people that haven't been to Albania, it's becoming a bit more of a popular destination, holiday destination. A lot more people have uncovered the beauty of Albania. It's somewhere I haven't visited, sadly, yet, but it's high on my list of places to come.
Yeah.
How was, obviously, Albania, how does that fit so well together with rugby? Obviously, those touring teams come across. Is there a lot of surprise and amazement when people turn up? They think, oh, right, hold on, we're going to Albania on tour.
Yeah.
And then when they come and they think, right, I need to come back again. How does that tie in perfectly so well with the game that we all love as well?
The one thing that we've noticed over the years, especially with the UK teams and Italian teams, and actually we had a Spanish team a few years ago when we did the beach rugby tournament. And what we noticed with the UK team is they didn't expect that our level of rugby, which rightfully so, was that good. And secondly, we are a nation, we are a people that are known for our hospitality, basically. So whenever there's a guest, be that for rugby or not, but especially for rugby for us, we treat them in the utmost respect. We pick them up from the airport. We take them everywhere we can. After the match, there's obviously the third part. We go on a drinking contest with the best players, and we show them around town. So it's not just about, we really want to show that we are a people that can offer so much more, not just on the field, but off the field as well. Because rugby is not just about the field. The game is fun. You win sometimes, you lose sometimes, but it's over. There's more to it.
100% agree. And that hospitality goes so much further, especially on tour, especially with rugby, because they're the bits that everyone remembers. Nobody, unless it's a final, unless it's a league game, nobody really remembers the tour scorelines, because usually the party after clears everyone's memory of whatever happened on the pitch. So as long as you've got a good party afterwards, that's the crucial part. And so what's the go-to drink of Albania? A lot of places, like obviously Poland have got the vodka, they've got all these other magical. What's the one
Raki.
Raki? Yeah. Is that's what comes out of the sort of the cupboard, and you've got to drink it dry?
A lot of teams that come here, they try it. It's a bit potent for them. Suffice it to say, but it's good.
That's going to get pretty tasty on a rugby tour, that's for sure. The international scene, as we've obviously discussed with Greece.
Yeah.
When I had Eleni on as well, she was explaining obviously that Rugby Europe require a domestic league, etc., etc. All of these other moving parts that before you get recognised for membership. Is that on the cards for Albania Rugby, or is that a 5, 10, 15-year plan? It's a case of growing where you are currently, that solid Tirana base, those players of availability, getting those exposure through World Rugby Games. The Rugby Europe progression is a long-term vision for you guys, or is it something that you're able to accelerate at some point sooner?
Well, we've actually divided our objectives into different pieces. So we've gone through the educational system. A few years back, we did a pilot project in the local prison system for the youth, the rehabilitation center in Kavaya. It's a town near Tirana. And we're using that as a blueprint to introduce it to schools, which we already have. We have 50 students at the local French school where they play touch rugby now. Yeah. They've been playing for 2 years. A few weeks ago, they went to Paris for a local tournament, and they actually did very well. I was surprised how well they did. And now touch rugby and next year rugby sevens will be officially part of the curriculum at the French school. That's one part. The second part, where you're a domestic league. So there's another town near us, where Durrës, where we have one of our Tirana boys who played in Italy for 9 years. Funny thing, he was at a detention center, to say the least, and he learned rugby there. He played rugby weekly. He got his education from rugby, and he's the best man to do it, to grow, to basically make a team in Durrës and have a proper competition in Albania. And then the international scene. So we have, I'm not sure if you're aware, we have an ex-international French rugby player as our forwards coach, David Atou. I got to know him at Bourgoin-Jallieu. We got talking, and he's a great guy, and now he's part of our team. That's one aspect. And speaking of France, Tirana is twinned with a team in Lyon, which we're going to tour in August. Another project is, so as you know, our flag, it's a two-headed eagle, a black eagle. Now, we contacted through a friend of mine, Nisa Rugby, which have just been promoted to Pro D2. And they have the black eagle as well. And we have a project with them to take our best players, our young players, to their camps, sort them out, see how good they are, how well, if they're good, they can stay. If not, they come back with a review. You do this, you do that. Rugby in Albania, in order to be successful, because we've tried this with Tirana, you have to give individuals an opportunity to grow in life. What I mean is, it's all good and gravy to say, I'm going to play for my local team. And that's fine. But we are a poor nation. As it pains me to say it, but it's the truth. You have to provide opportunities for people. Opportunities, what I mean is that perhaps if you're good enough and if you're serious enough about this sport, then you can go and play in another country.
Even if it improves one life. That's exactly what we all do this. I coach under 14s, under 16s, under 18s, and I don't do it to make money. I just do it because if I can help change one player's aspect of life, as well as, because it's not just coaching them on the pitch, you sort of give them a guidance off the pitch, because not all of them have got a dad, not all of them have got a full family circuit. sometimes they just need another voice from a different bit, and just to see the successes and the highs and the lows and help those players become something different or make it a different decision that they might have done if they hadn't had that guidance. That's worth every second of sacrifice and effort that you put into it. It's 100% amazing. So how did such deep-rooted connections with France come through?
Yeah, it's recently because so a cousin of mine used to play for Paris Saint-Germain for the football club, and I asked him, "Could you please help us to get into contact with the French?" And he said, "Sure." Asked football guys, not the rugby guys. I got into contact with Pascal Papin, and the rest is history. Basically, it's one thing led to another.
Crazy, isn't it? It's not what you know; it's who you know sometimes. So obviously, a lot of other players within Rugby Europe models, etc., have all go across into France to sort of get that option to become pro. And obviously, Spain have now become pro effectively back internally with their centralised contracts, and a lot of people are able to use the France systems to do that. And obviously, by the sounds of it, you've got a lot of French players coming through at the school and the French connection there as well. Does that make that whole system a lot easier to tie together?
Yeah,
you can
it
get
does.
players to go here from there, and
Because the children at the school, they're relatively young still. But one of our
Yeah.
players, he teaches there now. Twice a week, he teaches rugby full time. So that's 3 hours a week. He teaches rugby to 50 students, 48, sorry. Most of them are girls. And that's another thing. I have to mention the great work that Silvio, our coach, Silvio Cella, has been doing, a captain of Tirana as well, a national team player. So the under-18 team that we have for Tirana is mostly girls. And that's thanks to his work. Yeah, it does make it easier. And next year we'll have another coach, a professional coach, to teach the proper way to tackle. Most of my boys are level 2 coaches, but I really want to show the parents of the school that rugby is really safe to do so. And we're in talks with the university in Tirana to introduce rugby there. And I'm trying to push the British school in Tirana to basically ooze in rugby there, so they can have a little bit of a British and French thing rivalry going on.
Mate, I love that. And so many people bang on that we've got to change the game by getting into schools again and making the game accessible to kids. Everyone talks about it, but not many people can do it because schools don't have the coaches, the PE teachers. They don't have the facilities. They don't have because they've had to sell their pitches. They've had to move all these other bits to cover costings. It's just amazing to hear that you're getting that buy-in from the schools, and it's changing the future of potentially so many children.
Yeah.
And like it's just being absorbed and accepted. And hopefully that the British school as well will add it. The universities will add it, and then once you've sort of solved Tirana, and obviously you're adding Durrës as well, is there many more sort of schools and setups around Albania as well? Is it right? We'll make this work, then it ripples out. Is it we've got a set concrete base, and then we'll build out from that? Is that the vision?
Yeah, we have another city up north which is very sports friendly. So if I say it's so, for example, the women's football team in Shkodra are doing exceptionally well. And I've spoken to a few individuals there to really introduce rugby as well, as I believe there's certain cities in Albania that can really make rugby their own. That's the whole point. So we make rugby union our own, and then we'll see what we can do from there. In terms of the national team for the games, we've got a game coming up sometime after September with Bosnia. And then next year,
Oh wow,
2027, we have a game planned with Serbia, which will, given the history and everything else, I think it will go absolutely fine. You know, rugby isn't like other sports. I'm not insulting other sports, by the way. Each sport is great on its own, but we're really trying to push away from that kind of Balkan mentality. And of course, we have to go back to Athens, to our great friends, and play them again because they weren't too happy with the result. But it is what it is. It's sport.
It was the first one back effectively, wasn't it? So like the results happen. It's just everything else. It's all step by step. It's the game. As long as we're playing the game, as people are seeing the game, the rest of it will all come out in the wash. And obviously Greece have got a big projection plan. They're obviously trying to grow. They're in the Sevens tournament. They've managed to get back into Rugby Europe as well. So they're on that path. And when I spoke to Eleni, she's obviously more than happy with everything that you guys helped her with the game, putting the facility on, etc., etc. The result was the result. It was nobody likes losing, do they? So when I watched it on the YouTube, and I was it just amazed me. The pouring rain and just everything about grassroots rugby was epitomised in that one YouTube stream, and I was like, this was the perfection of grassroots rugby and how we see the game growing, because you just made use of the space. The weather was torrential and the players just got on with it, and then that was an international game done. World Rugby, we move on, and that's another game under the belt and another one that people get to see. It was just, I loved it. It was absolutely brilliant. So it was amazing to see, and I wasn't aware of Albanian rugby. I wasn't aware of Greek rugby at the point, and that's now put two amazing nations on our radar that we want to help try and further shine that spotlight on. So if there's an opportunity of any of us being able to come to either of those games that you've got lined up, then I'm sure I can try and talk my wife into to let me head to Albania at some point. So.
Yeah, please do come. I mean, everyone is welcome here. Anyone is welcome. We're speaking to a lot of teams, and not just in Europe. Speaking to teams in New Zealand, Argentina, and it's just about growing the game, but growing it properly, slowly, and so it can benefit anyone that really wants to play the sport. This summer, hopefully, with our Le Deux Aigles project with NISA, which means the two eagles, as I said, we both share the same eagle. We're going to send one of our boys or girls to their camp. And I'm really happy that they went to the second division of professional rugby in France. I watched their final against Narbonne. Outstanding piece of rugby. I don't know how Narbonne, but it is what it is. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I really hope that we see this game, because I see the way football has grown in Albania, and I'm well aware that football here is basically a religion.
It's everywhere. Yeah. It is everywhere. That's the difference between rugby and football. I think you've hit that absolutely perfect, because rugby is a passion for anyone that plays it and anyone that's been involved in the game. But football's got that religious aspect to it. And I think that's the difference between the two sports. And that's where that religious element differs between, obviously, the game that we both love. So sorry to jump in on that, but I think you hit that perfectly.
You're right. And that's the thing. But there's no reason why we can't learn from football. And that's why I try to look at how did they do that. Obviously, we have nowhere near the budget, and neither will we ever have. But there's no reason not to learn how they do things properly. And people in this country love football, and we try to use that to our advantage.
As you said, everyone in rugby always has to talk about funding. So is there much, if any, is there any government funding you guys get? Do you get anything from the council? Is it solely self-funded
and a few good Samaritans?
Wow. That's to get from what, in 12 years to 12, 14 years from when you sort of said that it sort of started to having a fully fledged...
2012, 2011, 2013, Tirana Rugby Club was officially established. So it's actually a bit more than that. It's like 14 years, and it's always been self-funded. Some people who could afford more gave more, but that's about it, really. We've had some sponsors, but it helps, but it doesn't really help. As I said, what I want rugby to become is self-sufficient. So rugby provides opportunities like jobs, careers for different individuals. Then you can really see the growth. Then you can really pull individuals in that don't want to play. Not everyone wants to play it, but that doesn't mean that someone can become a coach or a referee
as you build that domestic scene, you need those referees, you need those physios, you need those coaches, you need those youth systems. So it becomes its own ecosystem.
Yeah.
And by the sounds of it, it's so fledgling as an international scene for yourself, as you said, for the last couple of years, 2-3 years as a fledgling international side, to have been backed with such an established club side. There's probably so many sleepless nights now when you figure, like, how are we going to get this? How's this going to? But what if you had to sit there and put a target on it? What would be your 5, your 10, and your 15-year milestone? At what of those steps would you class this as that's on track, that's a success, we've overachieved? How do you see those 5, 10, 15 years for Albania rugby?
So I think, as I said, Rugby Europe is our primary target. And given our international team, with the boys that play for us, that represent us, both from the Tirana Rugby Club, and a lot of our players come from Italy, Albanians, some from France, from the UK, the United States. We've got a very, very solid international team.
Yeah.
Very solid for not just for the region, but in general. I'm not saying that we're tier 2. I'm not jumping here, but I wish after that I want to establish a women's team, both locally and international, at least at sevens. We introduce it with sevens. There's plenty of women these days that play a lot of football in Albania. The whole mentality is changing. The wrestling team did really well. Again, we look at other sports, how they did it, and that's one. And for me, more importantly than anything, it needs to be in schools. If we can get rugby in schools, that's the most important. Because a lot of kids, they still look at the rugby ball and say American football, which kudos to American football and the marketing team. They really know how to do it. How can you play one sport in one country? Well, in one country, and everyone knows about it. Yet rugby, a lot of people still don't know about it. But that's another topic for another day. But if we can get into a few schools, not just in Tirana, in other cities, then that's the real success.
I agree. I think, as you said, if you can add that Duros team as well, and then pick out even if you can get to sort of four cities around Albania, you've effectively got a four-team league, and then that's how that sort of develops out, doesn't it? And I can't wait. I can't wait. Sounds amazing.
It is. It's very hard. So many different reasons, which I cannot explain, but it's worth it in the end.
So women's rugby then, obviously, to make sure, because obviously that's on the boom off the back of the World Cup, the English World Cup that we had as well. There's a massive pace gathering from that, and there's a different audience to women's rugby everywhere you go. It's more of that family feel. Do you think that will tie in more with the schools project, because obviously the kids be able to attach more to a potentially to women's rugby, and then that creates that further pathway? How far away are you from getting to the point that you've got a women's setup ready to go?
We already got the under 18s, as I mentioned before. We already got a few girls that are very, very good players, if I may add. And I'm not just talking about they're good for girls. They're good. They're good players. Full stop. They play against boys. We've gone to Kosovo. They've done really well against the boys there, which are bigger and stronger given the age. We're still working on that, so we can really increase the number. And now with the French school and with the schools that are coming next year, that's good. Speaking of schools, next year we're doing the Balkan Cup. That's what we're calling it. And there are a lot of French schools around the region, so in Greece, in Montenegro, and Northern Macedonia, and in Serbia. And we're basically going to gather them up, and they're going to play rugby against each other. So that's going to be a very interesting. So to have 5 or 6 schools to play rugby in Albania and call it the Balkan Cup is a huge success for us. Huge success.
Amazing.
And that's what we want to do. We want to build from the schools are our main target.
Yeah, I think that's amazing to hear. And as you said, to try and you by the sounds of it, you realise what you've got in front of you as well. A lot of nations also try to build something that's not there. You've managed to get that access to the schools, to prisons, etc., and you're able to build that connection and that second opportunity, or give that first opportunity to someone. And even with all those projects, there is still no external funding. None of the government's got anything to sort. Or is that because there isn't a proven concept? Is that something that's completely off the table, or is that something you can say, well, we've proved this concept now?
I would say, because hence why we did the prison project, the Rugby for Change, it's called, actually, and World Rugby made an article about.
Brilliant.
And because I wanted to prove to the government, to the ministry, that we can actually do things.
Yeah.
As it is with all things related to the government, it takes time. There's a lot of bureaucracy, and it is what it is. It's going to take some time. I'd really want, of course, with funding, it would make a world of difference. But even if you have good funding, you still need a good project. You still need a good product. And that's has been my idea since day one. I look at rugby, despite the passion, despite the love, it needs to be very much a sellable product. You have to sell this to people. You and I love it. It's easy, but not everyone does.
Oh, I completely agree. And that is the difference between the product that we've got now and the product that we need in the future. It's not just at the level we're at. And that's why we want to showcase all of these different bits, because there are concepts. There are projects out there that will change how people view the game and how we can showcase the game as well. And sounds like you guys are leading the fight that everyone else talks about, but actually not many people can actually replicate.
I really hope so. We do that. I really want, obsessed with it, that things can get done properly. Rugby grows in a healthy manner. We've made a lot of mistakes in the past, and that's it is what it is, and we learn from them, and hopefully we won't repeat them again. And yeah, that's our main thing. And not everyone takes us seriously, and which is fine. You have to prove yourself in life for people to take you seriously. But we really love this game just as much as the rugby nations, like the UK and France, New Zealand, Australia. And we're looking everywhere. We're looking at what previous nations and federations have made mistakes and what they've done right. Nations our sizes that have not got a very strong rugby background. But yeah, that's how you learn. That's how you learn. But I looked at a lot of articles, especially regarding grassroots sports. And that's the main thing. Grassroots opportunities for young people.
I completely agree. I think a lot as a sport as well, we've potentially got to look towards the likes of gymnastics. But gymnastics, like in a lot of places, is one of the biggest, quickest growing sports at youth level. They've got waiting lists for people to join them, and they've somehow managed to capture that sign up, that obsession, but it's not commercialized. So we're at the other end of the scale with a game that we love. Rugby's got a core base, it's got that steady sign up, but we're not at that commercial element. And it's all a one big puzzle. When one person solves it, we'll hopefully all come out the other side of it more than happy, and we've got the game that we all love. You guys are also got a rugby league team as well. I know as a union podcast, etc. But I got sort of shown into the rugby league world. Obviously, I'm from the south of England. I'm not league orientated due to my geographical sense, but rugby league exposed myself and my under 16s team to a whole different level of game.
Yeah.
Like the fitness, the tackling, everything like that. Does all of your players play both codes?
There are players who play both codes, actually. There is a team that plays league in Albania. Funnily enough, we used to be very close together as a group, but like all things in life, personal ambition and other nasty things got in the way. A sense of entitlement, suffice to say. So, but in terms of rugby league, the NRL is one thing. As I said, if you remember the product thing, you look at the NRL, how they do things, especially on grassroots. I'm not talking about the championship. I mean, the league, yeah. It's a great league, and that's it. But how they do things, especially in grassroots, it's astounding how they recruit players. That is something to be learned from. Of course, again, rugby there, whether it's rugby league or union, and Australian football is part of the culture. The oval sports are part of the culture. Here it's not. But you learn. You look at how things are done there, and you try and imitate to a certain extent, or adapting to the culture here. And if not, you save it for another time.
So where would you rank rugby in your level of sports in Albania? Because obviously football's probably got to be top. Like I'm over in Spain, rugby's maybe the 5th or 6th sport that everyone that would play. It might even be lower. You go across to England and it's probably dropped. Probably 2. You got football, cricket. You probably rugby maybe 3rd now. Like where does rugby sit in the tiers of Albania sport?
It's very niche. It's still very
Yeah.
niche. It's grown since we won our first match. Our biggest win was against Kosovo, 88-0. And then the same year we played Greece and we won again. And since then it's grown. A lot of people shown more interest, but it's still a niche sport. There's still a lot of people know about Tirana Rugby Club, but we're still growing. It's still very much not a lot of people know about it. But with good international games, good performances against strong teams, it will grow. That's the thing, international games, especially when Albania is playing. And that's why we're doing the Serbia game, because it does create a buzz.
Yeah, that's a golden ticket to try and get people interested, even if it's just for the conversation. That's for sure. At least it hopefully gets more bums on seats. And thanks. Do you get much exposure on TV, in newspapers, stuff like that? Is there
games? Yeah, especially against Greece, we got like I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of views and clicks for the win. It was people from all over the world, Albanians from the diaspora, looked at it, and I imagine the game with Serbia and some other nations, it would be even more because people are interested.
Yeah,
they're interested. They like rugby. I see a lot of people when they view it, they like the tenacity of it and everything. But it's one thing to like it, but it's another thing to stay. So
it's another thing to play it as well.
So that's
you can get them to stay and you can get them to watch it. It's getting them to play it, and that's where the schools conversation comes back in, because that's the ones that we need.
But we will get there. I honestly believe that we will get there with these games, with Tirana and the national team coming up. The Nottingham police force are not just coming here for a match. They're coming here to learn about Albania. They're coming in to stay a few days, not just a weekend. The EU parliamentary team is very important to us, to show the government that the rugby is here. So this is how things work in this side of the world, basically.
Sounds like you've got everything planned. It's just now it's the execution and stuff like that. So for those that don't know how to get hold of yourselves in Albania or how to make contact, just give us a little brief overview of where people can go and find the pages of Tirana or obviously Albania. And for those that want to come and have a game or come and see the amazing country that you guys have, where have they got to go? Where do they reach out?
They can contact us on Tirana Rugby Club on social media and on Instagram, and the Albanian Rugby Federation, again, on social media, Instagram. They can contact us anytime, and we're open to host anyone. As I said, we pick them up from the airport, we take them to their accommodation, to their hotels, and we bring them to the field. We always rent a really good football field, so it's very clean, very tight. The one that we played against Greece, changing rooms, so people have fun. We really want, above all else, people to see us as people, firstly, us as a culture, and then see the rugby that we play, have a laugh afterwards, and they will always remember that we had such a great time in Albania.
As I said, obviously, if I can find out some dates and try and get one in the diary, I will 100% do one for the channel to make sure that I can come over and showcase it with you, because I'm just as infused when I found out about Greek rugby. Like I can't wait to showcase these little gems and the countries that are amazingly changing the face of rugby in a different way as well. Yeah. Like you guys have gone for the angle for the for the schools, everyone talks about it, but you guys are living the dream by the sounds of it, and that sounds like it's going to get better and better every time.
It is a dream, but sometimes it's hard, though. Honestly, it's hard. It's hard finding the field for the students because we have to rent a field for the kids.
Yeah.
We have to sort out the transport. We have to take them back. And it's hard, but the kids did really well. I'm so happy about that, Carl. They went to Paris.
Yeah.
There were a lot of teams, and I think they were like, I don't know, they did really, really well, and I was so impressed. I didn't think they would do that well. They're good kids, they're good players, but I thought, you're going to France, you expect, yeah, but it's good. It's good.
It makes it worthwhile, and that's probably stories and a memory that they will take through all of their life as well, and that all that coordination, all those sleepless nights making sure that happened is worth it every second, I'm sure.
Everything about this sport is worth it, even the bad bits.
I agree. I agree. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and these little stories they make all of it worthwhile. I think that's probably the best note to end this on. Everyone, really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us. For those that want to make sure you go and follow more about Albania Rugby, go and reach out, go join the Instagram and follow Tirana as well. Reach out, go get a tour booked, go over there and see it for yourself. Don't just listen to what we've talked about. Go and actually experience it, because I 100% will be on my list to get out there, and I can't wait to be able to showcase that on the channel as well. Make sure you follow us along on YouTube, Instagram, everywhere as well, to make sure you keep sharing the pod and all the other streams that we do with Rugby TTL, and to help us be able to showcase beautiful countries and amazing rugby stories like this as well. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your time, and we'll catch you soon.